Hello everyone, welcome back to Ontario Gardening. Today we're going to take our garden pup for a little tour, but we're going to be quick because it's like 42 degrees out. This is our September tour, and I'm actually going to take you out front today because we talked about how I showed you a while ago hardening off all of those perennials, and we never even showed you them in the ground. So we'll start here with the apple trees. They're a little bit not as dwarf as I thought they were going to be. They're actually quite tall. Like, I'm 6 feet tall and they're getting a little out of control, but they're doing well. The rust spots were predominantly down here at the bottom where all the Japanese beetles were and destroyed everything. But we've got some healthy growth at the top, so that's good news. So I'm impressed with that. Still not impressed with the basil in this herb ladder. So I talked about how last time they are looking better than what they did. I came out here and harvested a couple days ago for a meal. We had this awesome basil matzo tomato grilled cheese thingamajig, and it was really delicious. I'll link the recipe below because that was so good. But anyways, so they're looking a little bit better, but I don't know if it's a nitrogen deficiency, because usually when your plants start to go yellow, it's lack of nitrogen in the soil. I don't know if it's a drainage issue or a compact root issue like we talked about in the last tour, but I won't be doing basil in the herb ladder again. I'm going to try other stuff next year. Here's our other tree, not as tall, but still looking good. So I cannot remember in the last tour if I had just planted I had purple beans here and the dragon tongue beans, and we ripped those out. We harvested everything and we planted radishes. So they're doing pretty well. Let's see here. I've got some growth going on. See, there we go here. So they've been in for just a couple weeks. They'll be ready to harvest soon, so that's super exciting. And then I'm going to plant more because these can be frozen. We can cut them up and ferment them if we wanted to. Here are our green onions. Now, for those of you that have been following the tours, you can remember how like small and nothing they were because they were being hindered by the beans over here. And now look at them. It's insane. They're actually going to be ready to harvest soon. I chop these up and freeze them and use them for the entire year. So that's super exciting. And then beside them we have our white onions. So again, for those who have been following, we had the yellow onions in here. They've already been harvested, chopped up, and frozen, and now we're working on our second set. So these won't be ready till October, so we've still got a couple weeks to go. The strawberries are doing okay on the fence. Not all of them are thriving because I actually made a big mistake. I can't get to them. So our beds are right against the fence here to save space in our yard, which is all well and fine, but I can't get to the fence to get at those strawberries. I put them on when there was nothing in the beds when I could walk through, and now to harvest them, I'm using like a stick to get it off the hook. So I won't do that again next year. I'm not sure what we're going to do next year for the strawberries, but we're going to figure it out. Here's the carrots. Like craziness. Those will be ready soon. Our beans, I forgot my bucket back here, but I'm going to come out and do a wicked harvest because we have got some things to harvest here. I showed you in our last harvest video that we have 75 green bean plants. Green beans are a huge thing in our house. We can them, we freeze them, we eat them all year, and we are just about ready to have our second harvest. So that's pretty awesome that we can get like at least 2 to 3 harvests from these green beans, because our last harvest for all 75 plants, I believe we filled 4 freezer bags packed full of them. So I mean, we are just a 2-person family at the moment, so that'll last us probably half the year. I planted peas were here. I planted some kale. It's not doing very well. It's very little. It's been so hot here though, and of course kale is a little bit of a cooler crop, so I don't expect to see kale. I might actually come in here because we only have like, I don't know, 50 days maybe left of our growing season, and like they might stand a chance, but it's some wasted bed space, so I might just come out here and do some more radishes and just fill these beds with radishes. We've got our volunteer plant that I did not plant over here. I'm keeping it because I'm waiting for it to die off so I can show you guys how to harvest the seeds from this plant. That'll be in a separate video. Whew, I am melting out here. And then we have got our jalapeno plants. We have jalapenos for days. As you can see, these ones are ready to be harvested now. When they start to split like that, it means, to my understanding, that it's the hottest flavor that it's going to get. So they'll be ready to be picked. We've got tons of those. We've got tons of these banana peppers in here. Lots and lots of those, as you can see. So those are ready to be harvested. And then, whew, sorry y'all, I was being attacked by a wasp. We've got purple peppers for days on this plant. I think I have like 10 peppers just on this plant alone. Back in the back there, I do have green peppers, but I'm having a little bit of a hard time reaching them. We've got more green beans here to harvest. I left 2 zucchini plants here. The one has pretty much died off, and there's something back there that's just chewing away. So I'm thinking squirrels are coming for a daily visit to chew away. But over here, no worries. All isn't lost because I've got one chilling there. I made zucchini meatballs yesterday. So I had like 3 massive zucchinis in the fridge. And I made meatballs out of those and put them in the freezer for the year for myself. I'm the only one that eats them. So that's awesome. I have got our lettuce here. It's been so hot here in southern Ontario. They're kind of struggling a bit. I'm going to have to really come out and give them a good water tonight. Again, lettuce is a cool crop, so they don't love the heat. So I'm just worried that they're going to bolt. But for now, they're just dying, so that's okay. And then I've got some more lettuce over here. I've got a garlic that decided to make an appearance all of a sudden. And then I've got nothing here. I ripped out the other peas. I'm going to put some radish in here. But see what I mean about the strawberries? Like, they're just not doing so hot. Cucamelons. Cucamelons are thriving over here. We've got tons of cucamelon growth. I'm gonna have to come out here and harvest all of these. I do have a few, as you can see, I cut back the cucumbers so they're not in the tree anymore. But I do have some in there. And then tomatoes I just actually harvested 2 days ago to make feta bruschetta. We've really been loving these chocolate sprinkled tomatoes, chopping them up with some onions and doing feta bruschetta. I do have some in here that I need to harvest, but there's still so many more coming. So I'm gonna leave these, of course, on here, and then we're gonna harvest them out, and yeah. So that's pretty much it for the garden here. I'm gonna do some harvesting, and then I'll take you all out front and give you a show of what the front looks like. And then maybe we should go inside for a minute because we're dying. It's hard with the fur, huh? Okay, let's go inside for a minute and cool off, and then we will do some harvesting and, like I said, bring it out front. So after I was done showing you everything I went out and harvested, and we got all of these banana peppers, a ton of purple peppers, some jalapenos. This one obviously I had forgotten from the last harvest. This is the 3rd little quart of tomatoes we've gotten this week. We've already made feta like twice. I don't know what we're gonna do with it now. Maybe a salad. A couple of cucumbers. This is the 3rd zucchini this week. We made a bunch of zucchini meatballs. I'm now gonna make zucchini soup and freeze that up. Some cucamelons, I might try fermenting those. And then lots more beans. We've already got like 4 freezer bags full. This should do another couple, so I think we're gonna be good for green beans for the year. So that's our September harvest. Let's see what we can grow in the next couple weeks and harvest in October. So here we are coming out front here. So we've got our little, it's a little bright. But we've got these, which I guess are called turtle heads. We transplanted them from my mother-in-law's garden this year, and they're just starting to get some heads on them, which are really pretty. We've got 2 of them outside of our solar rock, and then we've just got some annuals planted around the rock here. And here is the Prima Rose Corabels. So it's basically like a purple corabel. It's really pretty, and it usually has these nice flowers on them, but everything's drying out and dying here. We've got Delphiniums. Again, they were like small little transplants. Well, you remember them from our previous video. I'm letting these harden enough and get pods so that I can collect seeds from those. Some more annuals in here. I'm getting a walk-in greenhouse on the inside of the house this year, so I'll be able to start some annuals on my own without having to buy them from a greenhouse. So I'm super excited about that. We have peonies over here. They're Bowl of Beauty, so they're like double colored. We had 1 bloom on them earlier in the year, but apparently peonies can take a couple years to establish. So I'm not really stressing out about that this year. It's going to get bushier and bigger every year. And then we transplanted some hostas. We've got the 2 hostas on either side, and then we did like a variegated hosta in the middle. It's not doing very well. It's a little bit crowded because we do have these limelight hydrangeas, but these are all starting to die off too. The blooms aren't too bad. They're still pretty, but yeah. And then we basically, everything that's on this side is mimicked on this side. So the Delphiniums again. But yeah, so this is our perennial garden out front here, and we're gonna keep filling it in each year with different stuff. Next year we're gonna do some echinacea, some coneflowers. I'm gonna do some zinnias out here. Got lots of fun stuff going on. But yeah, so that's our front. Thank you so much for joining us on this September tour. I'm not sure what we're really going to see come October because everything's going to start dying off, but that's when we're going to start seed harvesting. So that'll be fun. I'm going to harvest some seeds from a couple of different flowers and stuff, and yeah, stay tuned for all that fun and some more fun canning stuff coming up soon. Talk to y'all later. Bye.